What if everything you believed about the origins of the Hungarian people was only the surface of a far deeper story? Hungary sits proudly in the center of Europe, but the DNA of its people reaches far beyond the Carpathian Basin. It stretches across Central Asia, into Siberia, through the Eurasian steppe, and into the heart of medieval Europe. Hungarians speak Magyar, a language unlike any around them, a linguistic island surrounded by Slavic and Germanic seas. For centuries, this mystery led scholars to argue, were the Hungarians steppe warriors, descendants of Attila the Hun, or something even more ancient? Thanks to breakthroughs in ancient DNA, the truth is finally emerging, and it's far more complex and far more fascinating than anyone expected. To understand who the Hungarians are, we must return to the frozen forests and tundras of northern Eurasia. Hungarian is a Uralic language, related to Finnish and Estonian, and to the ancient tongues of western Siberia. For decades, this was a linguistic puzzle. Now, genetics is filling in the missing pieces. Recent DNA studies show traces of ancestry linked to Western Siberian peoples, the Ural Mountains, groups related to the Mansi and Khanty. These populations are distant cousins to the earliest Magyars. But here's the twist. This Uralic ancestry is only a small part of modern Hungarian DNA, about 5 to 15%. Why so little? Because the Magyars, who would one day forge Hungary, were a culturally Uralic tribe, but genetically mixed. As they moved west, they absorbed DNA from Turkic tribes, Thyno-Ugric groups, Iranian nomads, and steppe peoples. They brought with them a unique language, but their genes were already the product of centuries of movement. This is the first layer of Hungarian identity, not purity, but fusion. In the late 9th century, thunder echoed across the steppe. A coalition of tribes, the Magyars, rode westward on horseback, armed with composite bows, guided by the rhythm of the grasslands. They settled in the Carpathian Basin, where Hungary stands today. So who were they genetically? DNA from 10th century Magyar graves shows a surprising blend. Eastern Eurasian ancestry, Central Asian steppe markers, Siberian genetic influences, and European components. Their Eastern markers match those found among Turkic groups, Siberian tribes, and other steppe confederations. The Magyars were not one people. They were a union, a steppe federation forged in motion. But once in Europe, their genetics changed quickly. They intermarried with Slavs, Germanic peoples, Romanized locals, and other European settlers. Within a few generations, the steppe ancestry declined sharply, until only small traces remain in modern Hungarians today. Culturally, the memory of the steppe endured. Genetically, it faded. By the 11th century, the Magyar warlords had become Christian kings. Under Stephen I, Hungary joined the Latin West. This era reshaped Hungarian DNA again. The kingdom attracted Italians, Germans,
French settlers, Slavic populations, Vlachs, and other European migrants. Medieval graves reveal that by the 12th to 14th centuries, Hungary's population had become far more European-like than the early Magyar elite. The original Eastern ancestry diminished, absorbed into a new, diverse population. Hungary was no longer a steppe tribal confederation. It was a European kingdom, wired into the bloodstream of the continent.
The 16th and 17th centuries shattered medieval Hungary. After the Battle of Mohacs in 1526, the kingdom fractured between two great empires, the Ottoman Empire and the Habsburg monarchy. Both left genetic fingerprints, small but detectable. Under the Ottomans, soldiers and settlers from Anatolia, the Middle East, the Balkans, moved into Hungarian lands, leaving faint traces still visible today. Meanwhile, the Habsburgs brought Germans, Slovaks, Serbs, Croats, Romanians, and settlers from across Central Europe. Hungary became a crossroads of cultures, a mosaic of migrations. The most advanced DNA studies tell a simple truth. Modern Hungarians are genetically closest to Slovaks, Austrians, Croats, and other Central Europeans, not to Siberian Uralic peoples, not to Central Asian Turkic groups. The Uralic layer exists, but as a minority component. The bulk of Hungarian DNA is Central European, shaped by thousands of years of intermixing. Hungarian identity is not the story of one tribe, but of many peoples merging into one culture. So who are the Hungarians? They are the descendants of ancient Uralic speakers, steppe federations, European settlers, Slavs, Germans, Avars, Vlachs, and countless migrants who crossed the Carpathian Basin. Hungarian identity has never been static. It has been forged by journey, conflict, adaptation, and resilience. Their language is a living echo of the East. Their DNA is a mosaic of Europe and Eurasia. Their story is one of unity, not purity, of transformation, not isolation. 1,000 years of history, 1,000 threads woven into one people. This is the real genetic legacy of Hungary, a story far richer than myth and far deeper than legend.